This cup final, there's no runaway favourite between either of the teams. Does this mean that there's less pressure on St Johnstone to allow this courage that you mentioned to flourish?
I don't know about pressure. I think pressure's probably on everybody. They're probably putting pressure on themselves. Likewise Livingston. I think we just know it's a great opportunity to try and win a trophy. I think Livingston have been excellent this season, I said before. We've been fairly decent as well. So I think it is an even game. I think really important the first goal. Who gets the first goal, and then we go from there and we see how the game pans out. But I think both teams have an equal chance. Livingston have been obviously phenomenal this mid-season. Their run of form has been tremendous. So we've got to make sure they're probably the slight favourites in my opinion, and then we're probably just behind.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. It's so even between the two sides this particular season, and even overall. I mean, you both have a trophy each, so that's equal, and the performances are all there. I mean, how much would it mean to put that second trophy on the board for St Johnstone and put your name up there beside Tommy Wright as put the manager who brought a trophy to Perth?
I think obviously massive. I think for me, it's probably not about me getting my name up there. I think it's about the players. I think I said before, playing is the best thing you can do. Managing obviously comes second in coaching. So for me, it's about the players and can they do it? Can they achieve it? So in 20 years' time, they can look back and say they were the first team to win the Betfred Cup for St Johnstone. So for me, yeah, it'd be brilliant. I'd be delighted. But most importantly, as the players, I know it sounds a bit of a cliche, but I really hope they can achieve what I know they can achieve. Because they're a good team. They've played a lot of good football this season, and hopefully we turn up on Sunday. We put a real good performance in, and I think give the players confidence and hopefully we can get something out of it after that.
You mentioned earlier about the situation that you'll face on Saturday with this kind of love-hate relationship with the players, who will be playing, who will not be playing, things like that. Has that been a difficult skill for you to develop in your first year as sole manager, obviously, at St Johnstone?
Yeah, I think it's probably the harder one. You don't get taught that in any courses. You don't get taught anywhere. But again, I think it's just honesty with them. I just try and be as honest as I can. And, if they don't like it, they don't like it. That's it. As simple as that. But if they don't like me being truthful and honest, sometimes I'll change a team just for the sake of changing it. I won't change it due to performance. Some players will like it, some players won't. So, but I'll try and stay true to my word, and do it that way. That's all I can do. I think every manager will have the same answer. I don't think it's not an easy one. Squads are probably slightly bigger than they were back in the day. So, that's just the way it goes.
You've experienced, obviously, a number of clubs throughout your career. Do you see this as the biggest game so far in your playing career that you've had?
Yeah, I probably would actually. Obviously a national cup final. I've never played in one, so it doesn't really get much bigger than that. As you said, I've been about a little bit now, so there has been quite a few big games in my career. But yeah, thinking about it now, actually, it probably would be a national cup final at Hampden. So yeah, it would be the biggest game in my career, I suppose. Yeah.
And obviously, this is definitely the biggest game since 2014 for St Johnstone and their fans. But with the current situation, what do you think it actually is going to mean to win the cup for them, to raise them out of this current doom and gloom that we're in with the restrictions and things?
Yeah, of course. I think it's going to be massive. Obviously, it's been about a year now since we've played in front of fans, which is, it's crazy to think about. But, with all the doom and gloom, as you said, there has been the last year. I think it would give the fans and the full city a huge lift if we could win the trophy. Obviously, it's not going to be the same without them being there. But I think fans have probably adapted to it as well, watching back at home. So it will mean just as much to the players and the fans, although we won't be able to share it with them if we do win on the pitch. But I still think certainly for the players it will mean just as much to hopefully lift the trophy. So yeah, we can really raise spirits by getting a good result, and a lot of people at the moment are just looking forward to watching their team in action. And it doesn't get much bigger than a cup final, so I'm sure everyone's excited for it, and hopefully we can do our bit to lift people's spirits in this hard time.
Just briefly on the back of that, what does it mean to Callum Booth?
No, it means a lot to me as well. I've just been I've not thought too much about the game, to be honest. At the moment, I'll probably start thinking more towards the weekend. But yeah, it'll mean a huge deal to myself as well. As I said earlier, it'll be the biggest game in my career. So it's absolutely massive, and a huge chance to go and win a trophy, which would be amazing.
I think the victory of the weekend is a big help, kind of taking that feel good and good performance into a cup final. So the spirits are good, the training levels have been high, everyone's working hard, obviously try to do everything they can to put themselves in the manager's thoughts. So yeah, everyone's good in camp here. I mean, there's not much bigger as a cup final. There's been not many over the years, so when they come around, you've got to try and make the most of them. We managed to do it last time, so the plan is to do it again. It'd be amazing, personally, and obviously for the club. Going so long and the history about winning anything, and to win two would be huge, and as you say, relatively kind of soon to each other, not a big time difference in the grand scheme of things. So we've given ourselves a chance, we've got ourselves here in a lot of tough games. You go look back to penalty show and that, and things like that, small differences, they make such a difference to kind of get over the line, and as I say, we've got now confidence coming into the final, so it'll be all to play for. We know it's going to be a tough game, but we've definitely got the confidence and belief in our ability to go and win the game. It's probably actually getting underestimated how big achievement it would be. As you say, clubs can go so long without winning, and to win, two, and especially this year, we've not actually beat any of the big two in the cup, but they're both in the tournament, so that just shows the teams out there that can put in performances. I think it was a big game when St Mirren knocked out Rangers. It gave a huge boost to everyone left in the competition, looking at it thinking, we have got a real chance now. Obviously, you always give yourself a chance when you're in it, and when it's Rangers and Celtic, it makes it a lot more difficult. So the teams in the semi-finals all knew that they'd be, as favourite as anyone else if they got to the final. So that performance there in the semi was huge, and as we say, it gives us a chance now winning the final against a strong Livingston team. I think as a squad we've got a lot of youth, but there is the more experienced ones dotted around, and add into that a couple who have obviously won it before as well, a tournament at the club, a cup tournament, sorry. I think it helps. It can only help in that scenario, and people have played so many games in football. You look at Liam Craig Bryson, Craig Conway, real experience throughout the squad as well, and I think that paired with the youth and kind of hunger for the younger ones as well, which must be there. Obviously I was young at the time when we won it, and the just the desire you want to win that tournament, and there's also boys who are older that haven't won things. You look at Liam Craig, he's not been to a final before, and for him as well, I think it would be huge. It's something that to add to your career, and another cup win for myself personally, it would be massive. It doesn't come around often. We had experienced boys in the squad telling us that at the time. Then obviously Fraser Rice, Dave Mackay, stuff like that, they were obviously, it was kind of well represented at the time, people who had gone their whole careers without winning things. I've won a league before in lower divisions, but the feeling even from that, just winning anything is huge. So I knew that how much it would mean to win, the biggest cup competition in Scotland would be massive for a club as well. Obviously, who hadn't won it before, so to go and kind of add another thing on for this club, it's just something that would be amazing for everyone around the city, and the fans would know how lucky they are to get so close to each other.